Hello people and welcome back to the RDF Tactics YouTube channel. Today we have another tactic to look at. It's a 4-4-2, heavily focused on wing play. If you watched my last video, then you know that we're looking at some defensive tactics, not a high press tactic again. We're just going to focus bombing down those wings, attacking, exploiting and being lethal down those flanks. So in this video, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to get stuck into the game and then we're going to look at the tactic, break it down, how did we create it, and then look at some results. This tactic was tested with two teams, Stoke City in the Championship and Alanyaspor, some team in Turkey. They aren't the best team in the league, so we haven't picked Fenerbahce, Besiktas, Galatasaray or even Istanbul. We picked a different team to try and conquer the Turkish league. So if you are enjoying this type of content, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you like this video, leave a comment, all of that's going to help. But now let's get stuck into that game with Stoke City versus Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield Town? Is it? Let's get stuck in. So as you can see in the Stoke City save, we've only played 5 games so far. We've played Reading, we've played Birmingham, Swansea, which we lost away 2-0. We played Nottingham Forest and we've also played Fulham where we went away and got a 0-0 draw, which for me is a very good result, or a very decent result at least. In the Carabao Cup, we knocked out Burton, but then we got knocked out by Newcastle. No embarrassment, they are a Premiership side. But what we're going to do now is play the 6th fixture in the Championship. It's against Huddersfield Town at home and hopefully we get a win. After this game, we're going to look at the tactic and then we're going to look at the results from both teams. We might even play another match, just like the last video, who knows. If you guys have the time, then we actually might just play another game. But for now, let's get stuck into this game. So we're going to pump our fists. We're the favourites here. I want us to play like it. Come on, Stoke. So we're having chances, but we're just not having the highlights. Maybe we need to move this to extended highlights. Possibly. Because nothing's happening even though we're getting chances. There's Nichols now for Huddersfield. They're playing out from the back. O'Brien. Rose drop deep, collects the ball. Oh, that's a nice little ball for Thomas. Is he going to... Oh, it's a decent save there. Decent save by Burshik. So 40 minutes have played. We've had 8 shots. 4 on target and no highlights. No highlights whatsoever. Here's O'Brien now. There's Thomas. Oh my God, they've broken through again. They keep breaking through our defensive line. Here's Smith now, intercepts the ball. Here's Brown for Stoke City. Surridge, Vranic now. Back to Brown, back to Surridge, back to Vranic. Here's Bath now, Sawyer's on the ball in the middle of the park. Plays it to Chester. Now finally we're going to play the ball out wide. Here's Fox down that flank. He looks for Klukas. Please get the ball into the box. It's Surridge. And it's 1-0. That was a nicely worked goal by Stoke City. That was simply breathtaking. Well, Football Manager says it itself. It wasn't me. It wasn't my words, but it was a decent goal there by Stoke City. Fox, he hits the byline. That is exactly what we want. We want that direct partnership down the left flank. He finds Klukas. He puts it into the box. And Surridge, 1-0 to Stoke City. Come on, boys. Here's Stoke City again now. Here's Sam Klukas. Surridge, and it's 2. It's 2. Just as I struggle to mention Sam Klukas' name, he puts the ball. Did he put the ball into the box or was it Fox? It doesn't really matter. It is Sam Surridge, the target man, with his 2nd goal of the game. Oh, that's a beautiful ball by Fox. Right on Surridge's 2 pence. And there it is. It is 2-0 to Stoke City. Here's another chance. Oh, I thought it was going to Huddersfield, but it is for Stoke City. It looks like. Here's Chester bringing the ball out of defence. Here is Bath now. He finds Vranic. He plays it back to Berisic. Now it's time to play a little cautiously. Here's Bath now. Chester, nice and patient here. Fox, is he going to hit that ball again? He almost does, but he finds Klukas. Here's Sawyers now. Is Sawyers going to play that ball? Referee, that's a send-in. That's a send-in. Send him off. 2nd. That's got to be the 2nd yellow of the game. Yes, it is. He's off. Look how deep Huddersfield are defending. Yikes. Maybe we have one more chance here. Here's Brown. Oh, that's poor. But Buff collects the ball. Here's Sawyers now. Vranic. Brown. What's he going to do? He finds... Oh, didn't find Smith, did he? Oh, who's that? Karoma flicks it onto nobody. Here's Chester now. Fox. Go and drive, son. Drive with the ball. Here's Klukas. Fox again. Now here's Danny Bath bringing the ball out of defence. Vranic now. Go and overlap, son. He finds the overlap. Whip that now. Whip it. He whips it, it's Fletcher, and it's free. There's the wing play again. Fantastic. Now, that's football. It said it again. It said it itself. It's Football Manager. It's not my words. Now, that was football. There's the overlap as well that we're looking for from the right back. Of course, we're going to see the player roles in a minute, so we're going to see why that's happened. There's Smith with the cross. Fletcher in the box. It's a goal. It's a nice goal. It is a nice goal. It's Stoke City playing nice football and we are currently third in the Championship. But there it is. It's Stoke City 3, Huddersfield 0. So now let's look at the tactic and let's see why it worked in that game, I guess. Let's look at the tactic. So that was the game all wrapped up, and what you're seeing right now is the tactic used in that game, and of course the tactic that I will be sharing today. Now usually I would have created this tactic from scratch to show you the method, but instead I'm actually just going to show you the tactic as it's finished because I find it kind of easier this time. Just for this tactic, I do find it easier to explain. For an example, it's hard to go for the player roles and their relationships without actually seeing the roles all in front of your face. So that's what we're going to start off with actually. In goal, we are going to be using the sweeper keeper in goal on the defensive duty. At the back, it's just two standard central defenders. Both of them are going to be tackling harder. I like my defenders to be aggressive and not allow the opposition just to play about and have shots and make key passes at goal basically. The left back is a wing back on the defensive duty, similar to what we used in the previous tactic, but he's going to be crossing aim in the centre. He's going to be closing down more and marking tighter. The right back is a complete wing back, and you will see some fantastic movement from this complete wing back as well. He's going to be crossing aim to the centre, closing down more and marking tighter, just like the left back. And the nice movements that you see with the winger and the complete wing back, though it says he stays wider and he runs wide with the ball, that's not always necessarily true. He also likes to roam from his position, so a lot of the times what you will see is your right winger holding onto the ball on the flank, and your complete wing back, he's going to make an inside forward run. He's not going to try an overlap. Most of the time he actually comes inside, even when he's with the ball, as you're going to see right now. The winger holds his shape out on the right flank, and the wing back with the ball, he's just going to dribble with the ball and he brings it inside rather than overlapping with the ball on the outside of the winger. So you will see some intriguing movements from the complete wing back. On the left side of midfield, we're using a wide midfielder on attack. He's going to cross from the byline and also cross aim to the centre. And what you don't see on the left flank is an overlapping or underlapping situation. Again, similar to what we saw in the first game. The wing back collects the ball and the first thing he looks for is the pass down the flank rather than trying to bring the ball forward and make an overlapping or underlapping run. And this makes us more defensively solid, as the box-to-box midfielder may get further forward, the wide midfielder may get further forward, which may leave a gap if the wing back gets further forward as well. So on the left flank, we're trying to retain some defensive solidarity, and on the right hand side, we kind of get that with the winger holding his position and with the central midfielder holding his position as well. So in central midfield, we do have a box-to-box midfielder who's going to be taking more risks, tackling harder and marking tighter. Because we don't have a playmaker in this system, I do need some of the individuals to be taking more risks, and his midfield partner is a central midfielder. He's just on the supportive duty and his instruction is to hold his position. Lastly, the right winger, he's going to be crossing aim into the centre, but also again holding his position. He won't be roaming from his position or necessarily getting further forward unless we are in a moment of transition. When we can counter attack, then you will see your right winger getting further forward. But general play, positional play, your winger will not tend to get further forward. Instead, it will be your complete wing back. Now up top, we do have a target forward. Of course, the target for our crosses, as you saw in the last game, San Sturridge was the recipient of a lot of the crosses, but he likes to hold up the ball and he likes to dribble less, which of course we cannot change. And his strike partner is the advanced forward, someone stretching play, but also he will be creating depth for the side as well. He's going to be stretching the opponents, playing on the last defender, and that actually allows the target forward to have some space, operate in some space. If we do find him and he is holding up the ball, he's not going to be surrounded by a pack of guys, mainly because the advanced forward is creating that depth and creating that space for him. So that there is the player roles. Now for the team instructions, we are using that positive mentality, so we will be knocking the ball about and knocking the ball about patiently as well, trying to find those gaps in the wider areas for them to us exploit. The attacking width is set to fairly wide. The approach play pass into the space, which again for me, this is beneficial for counter attacks. We will be focusing down the left, focusing down the right because this is a wing play tactic. The passing directness and the tempo is all set to what the team mentality is, so positive. Your passing directness naturally will be slightly shorter and the tempo will be slightly higher. The dribbling, we will be running at the defense, and in the final third we will be sending in low crosses rather than floating it or looking for the target man in the air constantly. Now, all your crosses won't be along the floor, which is the reason why I put low crosses. So then we will have a mixture. Sometimes they will aim it in the air and of course aim for your target man. Sometimes he's just going to play the ball low, and that way we can also create a decent enough XG as well. If you're crossing the ball constantly in the air all the time to your target man, you might not actually create some fantastic goal scoring opportunities. So the crossing will actually be mixed despite us setting it to low. In transition, when the possession has been lost, we will regroup back to our defensive shape, but when the possession has been won, we will make our counter-attacking movements, and when the goalkeeper is in possession of the ball, he will look to distribute the ball to the fullbacks. Lastly, out of possession, we are set to a lower line of engagement with a higher defensive line. We're trying to create a mid block without having to sit deep, so that is the reason why we do have a higher defensive line but with a lower line of engagement. The defensive width is set to standard. The marking and tackling, we're using tighter marking, more often trigger press, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, and get stuck in. So that there is the tactic. So now we can quickly look at the results with Stoke City. Then we're going to move over to Turkey, to Alanyaspor. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. And we're going to look at how they use the tactics. So of course we're going to play a game with them as well, and then also look at their results. So let's look at the results. In the Championship, we won the league with Stoke City with a high amount of points as well. I mean, this is kind of crazy, but we played 46, we won 34, we drew 6, and if you notice, 4 of the 6 draws came away from home. We also lost 6, with all 6 losses coming away from home. And we didn't score in any of those games, but 1 away to West Brom where we lost 3-1. So, of course, the tactic is not perfect, but at the same time, it's very effective with the correct players. So we scored 87 goals. We didn't have the most shots for, we came in second, and we didn't have the fewest shots against. I mean, we're not even in the top 8. For the best pass completion, not even in the top 8. For the most possession, again, not there. But for the most tackles won, we do come in second place. For the most dribbles made, not in the top 8. Most clean sheets, we are in the top 8. We're actually joint second, and for the fewest conceded, we come in third with 35. So we scored the most goals, and we had the 3rd best defense record in the league. And as you can see in the middle here, with the most shots for, fewest shots against, best pass completion, the tactic is not the most perfect tactic, but what it is very effective. And looking at the top goal scorers, you can see why it's effective. Sam Surridge, our target man, he scored 25 goals in 42 games. Tyrese Campbell, the advanced forward, scored 19. Looking at most assists, Mario Vranic with 10, most shots for, Sam Surridge. It's so weird not saying Sturridge, Sam Surridge. For the most man of the match awards, Sam Surridge again, but Tyrese Campbell comes in second place. Mario Vranic with the most key passes. Looking at the most clean sheets, our goalkeeper comes in second, of course. And for the fewest conceded, well, our goalkeeper drops all the way down to 7th, which is unfair because some of these players have only played 17 games, 26, 18. Our goalkeeper played all 46 games. But enough of me moaning, let's look at the data hub. So in the most recent game, which wasn't the one that we played, it was against Coventry, which is the last game of the season. This is the shape or the pass map that happened during that game. You can see that how heavily influenced those flanks are for us, and how important your wing back on the defensive duty is in possession. He needs to be able to make the right decisions. He needs to have a decent first touch, decent passing, decent vision as well. Otherwise, you're not really going to get anywhere if the wing back or the left back always has the ball but always makes the wrong decisions. For the attacking efficiency, you can see that we were aggressive and clinical in our approach. For the defensive efficiency, we were quite busy actually, but nonetheless we were impenetrable. Now looking at the defense, generally we made fewer blocks and fewer clearances, but when it comes to the tackles, we made a lot of tackles, but we were also strong. We do have a high tackles won ratio percentage. advantage. Now looking at the crosses, you can see our style of play. A lot of crosses, get the ball into the box. We completed a lot of crosses. We were also accurate, and looking at the aerial, you can see that we made a lot of headers and we were also successful in that area as well. But that's all the stats, the data and the game with Stoke City. Now let's move to Turkey to see how the tactic played out in the Turkish top tier. So here we are with Alanyaspor, and something that I forgot as well with Alanyaspor in Turkey, I was actually testing with the left back on inverted wing back rather than wing back. Again, it's kind of similar. If the box to box midfielder does decide to move ahead, then the inverted wing back can then come inside and make sure the central area is covered. So in this video, or in this game, we're going to test the inverted wing back, and then you guys can kind of make your own decision whether you want to use an inverted wing back or a wing back. And also the mentality as well, we're going to drop that down to balance. Again, whatever you guys prefer. For me, it works similar, and across the season you will have to tweak. You can't just plug in a tactic and expect it to perform for every single game. So in this match, I am showing you guys a tweak, balance mentality, inverted wing back. Let's see how this plays out. Oh wait, are we on attack straight away? Oh my god, how Jean Neves, how has he not scored that? Did he even shoot? I don't think he even shot. Alanyaspor wins a corner, but nothing comes from it. Here is the opponents with a free kick. Oh, they almost scored. Jimmy. Here's Jean Neves now with the ball. Leroy Fer, there's the inverted wing back, just tucking inside. Here's Babacar now. Oh, it's falling to Davidson. Oh, the goalkeeper's number 2. I just noticed that, look, their goalkeeper's number 2. They put pressure on them. Okay. Barak. Babacar puts pressure on them and he finishes it. Easy, easy, easy. Alanyaspor, I mean, they tried to play out from the back. We've cut down their passing options. They didn't know what to do, did they? Look, they just didn't know where to pass the ball. We've cut out all their options. And look, he could have passed it to him, but of course, Leroy Fer would have been on him. And there's Babacar with an easy slot in the back of the net. It is 1-0 to Alanyaspor. But now here's the opponents on the attack straight away. Bertolacci. Karama. Oh, come on, keeper. Catch that. That ball was travelling at snail pace. I'm going to need my cup of tea for the second half. Oh, we have another attack or another highlight. Here's Faith now on the ball. Looking for Leroy Fer, Tafer, Babacar. Is he going to play it out? No. Someone's got to spread it out wide. We've got to get the ball out wide, boys. That's the tactic. There we go. Here's one Fran now. He's going down that byline. You will need a good complete wing back as well. We don't have the best. Oh, we've hit the bar. We have hit the bar. We don't have the best complete wing back, in all fairness. But let's get the second half started. Bertolacci now. Karama. Oh, it's a red card. What is up with this? I swear to... Oh my god. This league is the most frustrating. I know I've got to get stuck in, but trust me, without it, it literally makes no difference. It literally makes no difference. Oh my god. And people always get sent off in the most stupidest places as well. Here's Jean Neves. Faith with a header. That looked a certain goal. He really should be putting the ball in the back of the net. I can't even believe the first goal wasn't a clear cut. I don't know why Football Manager are not counting that as a clear cut. Oh, it's 2-0. Kuma Babacar, I don't know where the goalkeeper was going for that goal, but it's his second goal, and 10 men Alanyaspor have got the second goal of the game. I mean, what's the keeper doing? Oh, that's awful. That is poor keeping. And Faith are by no means a very bad team in this league. They are currently 6th. And they've got some decent players as well. There's Emre now. He's looking for that far post ball, but one Fran cuts it out. Oh, the goalkeeper needs to stop playing that ball. Here's Bertolacci. Jimmy plays it through to Emre. That's a goal. Oh no, it's an absolute sitter. It was an absolute sitter. Here's my, oh my god, our verted wing back on centre back on top of each other. Here's one Fran. Here's Erfakan or Erfachan. Jean Neves. What's he going to do with the ball now? He's going to put the ball in the box. Yes, he is. Davidson at the far post. And it's 3-0 to Alanyaspor. That was a nice move. What incredible piece of play by Neves. Of course it was. It's 3-0. We've had 16 shots at goal, 10 on target. We have been decent going further forward. João Neves running down the byline. Gets the ball into the box. Davidson at the back post. Knocks it in. I mean, Leroy Fer getting sent off has made us perform better. Still no clear-cut chances. I believe we've actually had around 2 clear-cut chances, but you know, Ahmed Musa has come on with that pace, but it does absolutely nothing to help Faith. It's Alanyaspor 3, Faith 0. So that's the tactic. Of course, it was a little bit different. This time we used balanced mentality. We used inverted wing back. Sometimes the inverted wing back can be a bit funny, as we saw there trying to play out from the back. He's literally standing on top of our central defender. But that there is the game wrapped up. Now let's look at the results for Alanyaspor. So with Alanyaspor, we too did win the league, but it wasn't as smooth sailing. We played 38, we won 27, we drew 6 of those games. Again, 4 of those 6 draws were away from home, and we lost 5, where 3 of the 5 losses came away from home. Now, looking at the top goal scorers, we scored the most goals for. We didn't have the most shots for. We didn't have the fewest shots against. We came second with the most shots for, and we came second with the fewest shots against. Looking at the most tackles won, we are in second place again. And for the most dribbles made, we aren't in the top 8 despite having run at the defense, but with the most clean sheets, we are joint second, and for the fewest conceded, we come in third. Looking at the data hub for Alanyaspor, you can see things are a little bit different. The shape is a little bit different. Now our left wing back isn't as wide as the wing back would be. He's of course a little bit more narrow. Looking at the attacking efficiency, we were aggressive and clinical. Looking at the defensive efficiency, we were quiet, a lot more quiet than we were with Stoke, but same, we were impenetrable. The tackling, lots of tackles and strong tackles as well at Alanyaspor. For the crossing, we put in a lot of crosses, as well as being accurate. For the aerial challenges, we made lots of headers, strong heading. Looking at the team defending, we conceded 0.74 per game. Expected goals against per game is at 0.84. Tackles attempted per game, 23. And we do have a very decent percentage of 78.77% of tackles won ratio. We are making 23.82 interceptions per game. If we hover over that, that's 3.10 more than the average in the league. So defensively, we're doing very well. Attacking wise, of course, we're doing very well. We won the league. We were the league's top goal scorers. If we look at the player stats as well, because I believe I just skipped past that. So for the top goal scorer, you can see Famara Diadu just slightly creeping in. He scored 13, but in 16 starts compared to some of these games. I mean, he started the least games here. Everyone else has played 29, 28, 31, so on, so forth. João Neves has 15 assists. Davidson has 9. Most shots for Mario Balotelli. We don't have anybody in the top 8. Most man of the match awards, João Neves, and we also have Famara Diadu. I mean, is this the Bristol, Barnsley and Burnley, you know, it's Bristol. I knew he played over in England. For the most key passes, we do have João Neves, 1. Fran, the complete wing back. You do need a very good complete wing back. Most tackles won, we have Efrat. For the most tackles won, we have our right winger making the list. For the most dribbles made, we do have 1 Fran and our right winger as well. For the most clean sheets, our goalkeeper joint top with 16, and for the fewest conceded, I mean, our goalkeeper drops all the way down to 7th. Whoopsie. But unfortunately, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, the 2 games again. So if you want to try it out, try it out. The link is in the description below. If you are new or you haven't yet, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like the video. Leave a comment. All of that's going to help. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and peace out.